the floor of views, and please, the European are invited to give us their view. Anyone want to speak should raise his or her hand. Please, Ramon.
Well, I think that after the result of these elections, this has confirmed something that I deeply believe, that is the complexity and the paradoxical nature of Iraqi politics make it extremely tricky and sometimes difficult for many experts, and especially, I would say, for foreign experts, to really accept or be able to develop narratives that really make sense in that Iraqi context. Most foreign experts tend to simplify, because it's the only way maybe that we feel we can explain that. I think what D.L. Asadi and Ambassador Luqman have said is quite important. It's precisely the need to really understand and accept that this diversity and this fragmentation, this complexity is something that is actually part and parcel of the Iraqi political deal. And I think often Iraqis also concentrate on the imperfections of their political system. But I have a question. I have a question that I would like to present, because I remember when we were in the different sessions of the National Dialogue, many of the representatives of the Tishrin movement were basically saying, you know, it's useless for us to participate, not only because it's going to be a betrayal of our ideals, but also because the system is rigged. And, you know, there are power centers that control what is going to happen. And you know, they were all complaining, you know, the Hashid have absolute control, and there's been repression and violence and so on. Actually, the elections were extremely peaceful, surprisingly, the whole campaign. And after the elections, I find that are the Hashid complaining that the system has been used against them. So there is something here that shows how extraordinarily fluid this is, and how now the Tishrin has been actually presented as the winners, or partly winners of this election. So this is a question that I would like to ask from our Iraqi colleagues, like how this completely changing narrative has not been absolutely underlined. I mean, because now is the Hashid that is demonstrating and putting up tents and saying we have been tricked and we have been wrong. So that is something that is fascinating for me. Only in Iraq such a thing can happen. Only in Iraq, those who are supposed to hold power then seem to be unable to actually transform that into the results they would like. So what is the real nature of power in Iraq? It seems to be something so extraordinarily fluid that is incomparable in any other Middle Eastern context. And the other question is that part of what is happening, I think, has to do with the shrinking of the economic pie. Because, and nobody has an answer for that. I mean, the question is that what the system was able to deliver before is not anymore. And the fragmentation that is happening in the Shia house is actually making the role and the political influence of either Sunni or Kurdish leaders much stronger than ever before. Because at this moment, the result of the negotiations within the Shia parties will depend on who brings in Masoud Barzani or Mohammed al-Halbusi. Before, they would wait until the Shia groups basically agreed on their own on the chosen candidate, and then that will shuffle the cards. Now, I mean, it's obvious that whoever brings in those two players will be able to reach the majority they need. So is that also part of this paradigm shift that you were talking about?